Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Judy Maggio.
And I'm Leslie Rohde. We are so glad you're with us here for this 10th edition of ATX Good News, where we do just that. We talk about good news that's happening all around the Austin community. We share those positive and uplifting stories. And I can't believe we're at number 10.
I know we've managed to do this 10 times without many technical issues. So
Yeah.
thanks to everyone who's been following along on this good news journey with us. We so appreciate all of you. We're sure enjoying giving this good news to the community. We hope that you are enjoying hearing it. Today, we want to shine the light on some folks in law enforcement who are doing good deeds constantly, and the folks that are helping the helpers, the volunteers who have been thanking the first responders for all they do in our community.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, Judy, when we do these programs every week, we sort of start seeing these themes happening. So we're not creating it; it's just sort of happening, which we find really fascinating. And we do want to really shine the light on those helpers and those helping the helpers this week. But we want you to be a part of the conversation. And as always, if you're watching here on Facebook, go to streamyard.com/Facebook, click on a couple links, and you'll be able to get your comments into our conversation. We'll be able to see who you are and how you comment there on Facebook. So we'd love to hear from you. Send us your feedback.
Well, we want to start by shining the light on the Austin Police Department. You know, we've seen a lot of apartment fires recently. I think the cold weather sometimes leads to fire issues at apartment complexes, and 8 officers were recently recognized for some heroic efforts. There was a fire back in February at a Northeast Austin apartment complex, and these brave officers helped evacuate the people from the burning apartment building to the point where, because it was a several-story complex, people were jumping out of the windows of their apartment buildings, and the officers were on the ground to catch them, truly keeping the community safe in many different ways. So we wanted to say thank you to those officers who bravely helped the folks after that apartment complex fire back in February.
I know sometimes those officers don't hear thank you enough, but we really thank them for all that they do, not just those heroic life-saving things like that, but the everyday things that they do out on our streets and in our community to help keep us all safe. So thank you for that. Well, we're going to turn just a little bit of our attention right now to something that we like to do here, and that is talk about Recognize Good Legends. Recognize Good is a nonprofit in Austin that we partner with, and they have a program called Legends where they highlight people doing good things, sort of similar to what we do here. And we are focusing today on one of their legends from 2022. Actually, 2 of their legends. And this is, again, all part of this partnership we have with Recognize Good.
Well, you know, they're volunteers all over the community, giving of themselves, their time, their effort. And these 2 women really stood out and, in fact, got the most votes in the Say Thanks Austin part of that legendary volunteer effort with Recognize Good. And we want you to meet Brianna Murphy and Jackie Freeman. Now, they have worked tirelessly since the beginning of COVID through the Black Women in Business organization to feed those in need. As I said, they got the most votes at the Say Thanks contest. There they are, they got a $10,000 check to continue their efforts. But let me tell you a little bit about these 2. They heard from the leader of their organization, Rose Smith, Black Women in Business, that, you know, they really wanted to do something to feed those folks who became food insecure during COVID. So in the past 2 years, these 2 women have led efforts to give free groceries to 79,000 families in Austin. And we want to run a little clip with them because we got the chance to meet them a few weeks ago. And here's what they wanted to tell you about their efforts.
Well, fortunately, we were a part of the COVID-19 Community Relief Program where it was created by our CEO, Coach Rose. As you know, COVID impacted all of the businesses. And so during that time, really just trying to focus on how to pivot the business. And she said that she heard loud as day, serve the people. And so from that, literally, she gave us a phone call late at night. This is what she was thinking about. It's so funny what can be birthed from an idea. And so she said, this is what I want to do. And the next day, we literally were in the stores shopping and going out and distributing free groceries to residents in Travis County, primarily in the east side of Austin. And just from that, one yes, we've been able to now serve over 79,000 families.
I love what you said. It's amazing what can be birthed from one little phone call. Hey, let's make an effort to help feed those who are food insecure right now. And look, they've helped close to 80,000 families in the last 2 years. And Rose Smith, the executive director of Black Women in Business, said Jackie and Brianna bring a caring spirit with them wherever they go. And boy, we sure recognize that, don't we?
Yes, and you can tell just listening to Brianna talk there that, it's one thing to have an idea. She said, it's birthed from that phone call and that idea. It's another thing to actually step out and do it and to have the courage to do it. And they did. So thank you. We recognize those legends from Recognize Good, and we celebrate all they've done last year to win that contest, but also just what they're doing on a daily basis. So thank you.
Often
so
without
much.
thanks from the community, or people don't recognize. These are the unsung heroes we like to shine the light on. Right.
Okay, we're going to step back into that law enforcement realm, but now we're going to highlight some people who are helping the helpers. That's the best way to say it. And really, if you have been with us at all here on ATX Good News, we can't get through one weekly program without talking about an animal story in some way, because we love, especially dogs. Dogs we love, even stuffed dogs, and that's what we're going to talk about now. This is good news from the Austin Fire Department. Not 101 Dalmatians, haha, but 500 adorable stuffed animals delivered to the Austin Fire Department that will serve a very important purpose. They provide calm and comfort to kids enduring an emergency. These spotted pups are just part of the annual Austin Junior Forum's teddy bear program that gives out these thousands of lovely little creatures to local first responders to have on hand for their kids to hold on to during a crisis. They also give them to the Austin Police Department and the Austin Travis County EMS crew as well. You'll see some of the Austin Travis County EMS people there with some of the members of the Austin Junior Forum there on the steps of the Caswell House with some of their great spotted pups. What a great program to help children. When children are confused, they really don't know what's going on in whatever crisis it is, and they just have something to hold on to that they can keep.
And this has been a program that the Austin Junior Forum has done for decades, providing thousands of these stuffed animals to first responders to give out at the scene of a crisis. And I just think it's so perfect because, we all want comfort and care when we're scared. And especially if your child, a stuffed animal, can make all the difference in the world. Well, since we're talking about emergency medical services, this caught our eye on social media, because who doesn't love Girl Scouts and Girl Scout cookies? And last week, some of the Girl Scouts from Riker Woods Elementary showed up at EMS in one of the EMS locations and took a tour of the ambulance. They were getting a badge, but they also brought cookies to say thank you to the first responders. They got to meet the EMS Association president, Selena Z, that you see there. And I just love it. The cookie program at Girl Scouts in February, we all look forward to it. We all have our favorites, but it teaches them so much about entrepreneurship and getting out and being a forward-thinking person and how to present yourself in front of others. And now they've turned around and they're giving cookies to say thank you to the first responders. So it's a program that just keeps on giving in many different ways.
Oh yeah, service, a huge part of the Girl Scout program. And I saw how many boxes of cookies. I wonder how long those lasted.
I don't know.
At EMS.
Maybe you want some Girl Scout cookies. I've run out already.
I'm a Thin Mint girl myself.
Me too. Of course, we would like the same.
Yeah, we would.
All right.
Okay, so let's turn our attention now to Ukraine. We cannot leave you without talking about that. I know that we focus on good news, and I think it's important during these times to really take breaks every once in a while and do what we're doing here. And that is really recognizing that there is good in the world. And we know that there are a lot of you out there doing all that you can to help the people in Ukraine right now. So we wanted to highlight these 7th graders and what they've been doing to try to remind everyone how they can help. These are kids, 7th graders from Temple Beth Shalom School, and they came up with 18 ways to help Ukraine, Judy.
Oh, they did. I got this just today from IACT Executive Director at Faith Action Ministries. Simone Toma Flower sent this over because I've been looking for ways that people are in Austin are helping the folks in Ukraine, because our hearts are so touched and we all want to do what we can to help, but sometimes it's hard to know what to do to help when we're so far away. So these seventh graders came up with some great ways. They listed financial charities to donate to, like the Ukrainian Red Cross, Voices of Children, Doctors Without Borders, UNICEF, and they had simple things you can do, like educate others, write to Congress, create a playlist for those in shelter. They're just little things that we can all do in our life to make us feel just like we're doing our part to help the people in Ukraine. And I love that seventh graders and their teachers at Temple Beth Shalom came up with that list.
I think it's a good reminder in many of these stories that we've seen today that it doesn't matter what age you are, that you can do something to make a difference. So it's great to see the young people in our community stepping out like that and really being role models for all of us in the ways that we can serve other people. Thank you, seventh graders, for what you did there. We do have some other people who've sent us ideas about what can be done for the people in Ukraine. We would love it if you know of anything that is being done locally here, any group, anything that's being done, send it to us.
Large or small.
Yeah, yep. so that we can celebrate it also as good news, as people helping other people. We want you to send that to atxgoodnews@gmail.com. You can also comment. I think we're going to try to put those seventh graders' idea up on our Facebook pages and our social media platforms later today, so you can comment on that as well. But send us your ideas, okay, not just on that, but on any news story, good news story happening, Judy.
We depend on all of you to find out these little nuggets of human kindness that are happening in our community. So don't forget to send us an email or send us a note on our Facebook page, however you want to give us that information. Some folks have just called, but let us know, because we rely on your goodness to spread the goodness in our community, and everybody, to have everybody find out about these wonderful things happening.
Yeah, it sure makes us feel good. Our email box gets filled with these really good stories.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And we enjoy sharing them with you. So thanks so much for continuing to support us over these 10 weeks that we've been here. Again, we are going to take a short break, a little bit of a break next week as we head out on spring break. My family's headed out of town, and I know, Judy, I think you might be enjoying some music around here.
Yeah, music and films to South by Southwest. So that's good news, is that Austin is once again having South by Southwest in person. And for those of us who are big movie buffs and music fans, it is, something some people don't like to dive into those crowds, but I personally do. And I'll try to share some snippets of things we're seeing and doing this week that perhaps could bring everybody some joy. But it's nice to have a diversion like that, and a place to soak in some of the arts,
All right, everybody, enjoy South by if you're headed down there. Enjoy spring break if you're on spring break. Just enjoy being away from school and all the routines that brings. And we will be seeing you again very soon.
We sure will. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye.